Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start here.
I know. He fires it up. What, 3 minutes?
Yeah, 5 minutes.
What do you want me to tell you?
Like 4 and 5 or something like that would be great.
Okay.
This is Jerome Dunn, Mr. Allatore speech class, ASUBB, term 3, spring term. I'm going to be giving an informative speech on global warming. I was wondering, could you hold this for me? And just like keep me in it if you would. Thank you, sir. Okay. Um, Global warming is something I used to study when it was a lot bigger deal than it is now, and I've been up and down the subject, and I kind of ended up on the debunking side, so that's what I'm going to talk from today. I mean, I know everybody's got their different opinions on it, but that's the angle I'm going to approach it from. So first off, what is global warming? Global warming theory is the idea that man-made CO2 emissions are driving temperature changes in the Earth, and it's based on two facts, which are I'm going to go ahead and concede the facts. You got CO2 increase from fossil fuel use. There's more fossil fuels being used now than ever. Basically, it's all being used now as opposed to historically not. So you got more CO2 from that, and that's just a fact. And temperature increase is recorded. Um, we'll call that a fact, but there's also issues with it. You have your ground temperature and atmospheric temperature and populated areas and so forth. I mean, there's a day that you can pick and choose to say whatever you want, but we'll call that a fact that we're in a warm period right now. All right, you have those two facts, but the problem with that situation is that you have a correlation. You don't have cause and effect. Cause and effect is well, basically that's a starting point to get to cause and effect. That's where you have the theory, and that's what people don't really have. Any data you can go research on your own, you're really going to find that temperature increase drives CO2 increase, and not the other way around. So, if you research on your own, you're very likely to find that out. Um, uh, Water bodies, ice bodies throughout the Earth, plant material all throughout the Earth. These are stores and sinks of CO2, and they're manipulated by temperature. So temperature change drives CO change in the atmosphere. Um, Now, one thing you find is like a hook around argument. Well, that it'll be said that man-made CO2 spiked the temperature, and then that spiked natural CO2. That's kind of like a say anything type of argument, you know. Can you tell me what time I got on there?
Nearly 3 minutes.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm sure everybody's seen Inconvenient Truth, Al Gore. You know, he's got a Nobel Peace Prize for that. It's kind of a big piece with like not a lot of fact checking. Like he says, if all the ice had melted, it'd be 20-foot increase in the world. It's not really true because if all the land, it's a times 20 exaggeration basically. If all the ice melted, it'd be a foot of water everywhere. Um, and that's just ground ice, above ground ice. Obviously, water ice that melts, that's break even, because it expands to get So basically, you're looking at a foot of water if all ice melts. A big thing too that drives that point is the hockey stick graph. Um, that's something that's just basically a pure fabrication because any ice core data you'll go out there and look at will indicate a warm period, a warm Middle Ages of that'll it'll just show a warm period in the Middle Ages where Greenland had been unfrozen and other evidence throughout the world, and then a cold period in about 150 years ago, which was a spike in ground ice.
4 minutes.
Okay, so right there, your hockey stick where you have like, okay, it's always been like this, and now it's like that. This has never happened. It's not been like this. Earth's temperature has varied. There's been ice ages. There's a warm Middle Ages and so forth. So that right there is a falsehood. And then the swoosh is pretty much not going to happen just because a lot of people are aware of the peak oil situation. Eventually we're going to have to get on other sources of energy, and right now we're at peak oil. All the easy to get oil is pretty much being got, so you know it's going to cost more to get the rest of it and all of that, and it's going to decline, and we're going to wean to other sources. So peak oil pretty much equals peak man-made CO2. So right there, there's no there's no steadiness to the hockey stick, and there's no swoosh going to happen. And then that's pretty much my debunking of global warming as a theory. It's got those problems. There's no cause and effect, and the hockey stick is just pure fabrication. Because also they switched it from global warming to call it climate change now, and that just, it's all about squish data, you know, like now is like a fragile perfect, and then whichever way it goes, you know, it's a win for whoever's trying to, you know, panic it, or, you know, it's just no good, not a good theory. And that's it. Thank you for your time, everybody.